On. Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, presented by B&M Poles. Along with Cindy, I'm Lyle Stokes, and welcome to the show. First off, we want to talk to everybody about Doc Lang. He is home and doing wonderfully. We're so glad that he's made it to his house. And one other thing that I'd like to mention, and he don't know I'm going to do this, and I usually never mention anything without consulting him first, but today would have been his and Lynn's anniversary, and until he went to the hospital, they had planned on him and his family spending the evening at dinner in celebration of Lynn. And I have a feeling the Doc's probably stayed home tonight. I don't know how he's feeling. I haven't talked to him since this afternoon when he got home, but I will tell everyone this, that I talked to Doc a couple of times the last few days as soon as he was able to talk, and he sounds better than he has sounded in a long time. He just he says he's in no pain and everything's going good, and he's glad to be home, of course. He'd been watching the clock in his room at the hospital, and he told me, he said he didn't realize how slow the hands on those clocks actually move. So he's got a pretty good idea now, but he's got a great outlook on things. He's feeling good, and he will be back fishing before we know it. So thank you guys for all your thoughts and prayers. There's those who say that doesn't make a difference. I believe that it does. And in Doc's case, I'm quite sure that it has. So thank you guys so much. And Doc, we miss you. Can't wait to get you back on the show. Looking forward to you being here. With that being said, tonight we have King Cat Tournament Director Jeremy Coe and Mr. RIGRAP himself, Glen Thomas, going to join us, and we're going to have some fun. Welcome, guys.
Well, thank you for having us on. I'm excited. I'm ready.
You are ready.
I already want to go home.
You are home.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Just to let you know, Glenn, it was a balmy 51 degrees at one point today in southwest Missouri. We thought it was a heat wave, but Wednesday it's going to be almost 70, and I'm excited about that.
That's fantastic. I see you got like little rosy cheeks. You get a little sun?
No. You don't get sun sitting in here answering messages and phone calls.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it sounded like a heat wave up there.
Yeah, about as much a heat wave as I get is when the dog comes up and lays her head on my lap. I know she's ready to go outside, and I'll take her outside. Muddy River Catfishing, thank you so much. That is awesome. We're having some struggles with them folks, but that we will eventually get it straightened out, and that is way cool. Thank you very much. I know Doc will appreciate that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I love seeing people do this. That's great.
Chris Flores, Muddy River Catfishing, one of the great deals to YouTube, and he does a wonderful job for everybody, and I know that Doc will appreciate that.
And you need to wear that.
While we're at it, before we get started, Chris give us one of his Timber King Cobra weight sets. When we was down at the Catfish Conference, it's been laying here on my desk for just the right moment to give it away, and this is the right moment. Now, Glenn, we had talked to you about you doing Doc's job, about gathering up all the people in chat.
Yeah, well, guess what? I got to get caught up here.
That'll be fine. If you would do that when you're ready, the first person that comes up on random.org out of everyone that's in chat will win this from Chris Flores. And Chris, again, we can't thank you enough for everything that you do, not just for Catfish Weekly, but for the entire sport of catfishing. Always got a smile on your face, happy to see everybody, and that's the way our sport is supposed to be. So, Jeremy, no tournaments last weekend. How's the truck progressing?
It has the crankshaft come out, and it is tore all to pieces, and in getting it off the road, it tore the whole motor up. So, but you will be at Guilford Lake Saturday having a tournament.
I
will be at windy. You know, you got to add windy Milford Lake because, as always, I'm bringing some wonderful weather. I think it's supposed to rain Friday. I think there's like an 80% chance of rain. And Saturday Kansas is going to show out like it normally does, and it's just going to be windy. So, but there ought to be some awesome blue cats out there at Milford Lake get caught now that the ice is off the lake. And, of course, we want to keep everybody in Nebraska in our prayers. There's a lot of cat fishermen up there and a lot of people in general affected by that. But that flooding water is coming down to Kansas, down the Republic River into Milford. So the lake's going to be a little bit higher than normal too. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, I'm loaded up.
The doctor is in the house. Yes, welcome, Doc. We're so happy to see you in chat tonight. It is great to know that you're able and feeling well enough to get on here with us. All right, Glenn, drag us up the first guy, and let's see who wins this.
All right, I'm not exactly sure what the hell I'm doing here, but yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah,
what do you want? You want me to randomize? You want me to pick a number? Yeah. What are we doing?
Just randomize it one time, and whoever's name comes out on the top will win our Timber King Cobra weight set from Muddy River Catfishing.
Okay. Hey, guess what? I won.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Hillbilly Catfishing.
Hillbilly Catfishing. You are the winner of the Timber King Cobra weight set from Muddy River Catfishing. After the show, if you would send me your address, I will get this sent right out to you. Thank you guys so much for watching Catfish Weekly and being in our chat. Remember, to be in chat, you must be a subscriber. Hey, if you guys don't mind, why don't some of you share this live feed so everybody else that's not in here can watch it? That'd be just awesome. We'd appreciate it very much. But, Doc, it's awesome to see you in here, my friend. We can't wait to get you back on the show, and I know as soon as you're feeling like it, you'll be back in here with us, and we will have some stuff to go over then. Milford Lake, Saturday. Tell everybody how they can get entered, Jeremy.
They can call our office in Louisville. They can get on our website at keencatusa.com. Sign up online. All of our numbers are on there. Shoot me an email. Or they can sign up Friday night at Acorns Resort, right there where the weigh-in and launch site will be. So Friday night, 5 to 7 is late registration. And one thing that kind of popped up back in January, almost February, is we will all be launching out of Farnham Creek, which is right there at Acorns Resort. It's Kansas, state of Kansas. You cannot trailer your boat with water in it for nuisance species type deal, but you can get a tournament permit, I found out. However, the city of Milford still wants everybody to launch out of Acorn, so I couldn't control that, but we'll get everybody launched out of there. It's right in the middle of the lake, and Milford's not that big, so you can run one way or the other and be at the other end pretty quick. So everybody has to launch out of Farnham's, and we will be drawing boat numbers. Being that I didn't find that out till after registration had already started, and we had like 15 people registered. So it didn't make it fair to the people that would want to register if they knew that we were going out by boat numbers. So
what is the cutoff, Jeremy, for pre-fishing time?
You can fish all the way up until midnight on Friday night. So you got all the way up until almost the start of the next day to pre-fish if you want.
All right. Welcome, Steve Douglas, the Catfish Dude. He says Glenn must have a new camera. He's looking all Hollywood now, and I would agree with that. I told you guys it's going to be a fun show.
Enough from the peanut gallery, you know.
We got Mr. Steve Douglas, one of the top guys in the nation, his YouTube man, tournament guy, does all kinds of cool stuff. And don't forget, this is the guy that puts on the Catfish Conference. And
so Steve jumps in. Steve jumps in here and automatically starts busting my chops.
Well, yeah. I mean,
no, don't go there.
We had such a great time down at the Catfish Conference. Looking forward to next year. It was an absolute blast. What a success! I mean,
no, it was a great. You know, that was my first Catfish Conference. I had a great time.
I've not missed one. So excited every year when they come up. And Jeremy, you've been to several of them too, haven't you?
I've been to all of them except for the first one. And I think Glen walked more this last one than I have at the past 4. So every time I see him, he was walking somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I must have walked 10 miles every day. Not that I didn't need to, but yeah.
Hey, man, how you doing? I got to tell you, Glen was like he needed a set of roller skates down there, but if I'd have walked as much as Glenn, I'd have had to got something to skate on because my feet hurt so bad that second day.
That's a great idea. Next year, I'm going to get one of those Segways.
I'll tell you.
I'll get a Segway with like a RIGRAP banner on it.
Yeah, I worked on concrete my whole life, and I was used to it. But when you're out of it for a while, and you go back to standing up all day long or just walking around like we did down there, it wears on you. But I got to tell you, boys, now we can talk about that Catfish conference till the water freezes again, but that cook-off, that Catfish cook-off, I enjoyed that so much. It was just a wonderful time with people fixed some absolutely wonderful catfish, and it was a fun thing that I know Steve had talked about doing that before, and I hope that he continues doing that. And I think that could really grow into something huge because it was a blast, and there was people with all the chairs that they had was full when it started, and it was all full when it was over. So I consider that a huge success, but the whole event was like that. I mean, it was just very well ran and in a huge facility. And, the boats was a big hit also. Everybody enjoyed the boats a lot. And it is just awesome. David says you need a RIGRAP wheelchair.
He can push him. Hey, he'll push you then.
Yeah.
His offer.
I'm not getting a wheelchair, but I think one of those Segways or one of those little 2-wheel skateboards that the kids ride around on. I'd have to practice a little bit, but I can get that.
Sonny Parker says get Glenn a scooter from Walmart.
I'm not probably sure get a deal. I probably could get a deal.
I think these are like old age, retirement.
Yeah, I'm not getting one of those little 3-wheel scooters like at the grocery store or something like that. No. That's not my style. Well, if I did that, I'd have to put big fat tires on the back and soup that puppy up a little bit.
I have an idea.
Jeremy, I gotta tell you, I do know how old Glenn is, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I do know how old he is.
I'm 49 years old. What are you talking about?
Every day of that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think it would be good promotion for you to get one of those 3-wheeled scooters in like a little trailer, and you can show up to all my catfish tournaments and drive all the catfish back to the water. So
you know what? That gives me a good idea for the next conference. Have a lawnmower with the cart in the back and see who can back it the best in a area like you're backing down a boat, because those are hard to back.
They are hard to back.
So
up.
that might be a
suggestion
for Steve Douglas for next year.
Well, yeah, but that's a little difficult to fire up a tractor inside an area.
A lawnmower tractor, honey.
Boys,
even still, those things put out a lot of exhaust.
Oh yeah.
We're going to get ready to spin the RIGRAP prize wheel, but before we get started on that, Nikki Ishcomer says, "Hey Cindy, Team RIGRAP is ready to rock the chick fights."
Woohoo!
Yeah, baby, Team 11.
I'm telling you,
Team 11.
When Melinda and them started talking, and Ann started talking about this event, I told them, I said, they said they would love to have 30 boats. I said 50. Your goal should be 50. If you make 50 boats the first year, that's a home run. And boys and girls, they are at 45 entries. If you ladies want to fish a great event on a great body of water, get signed up for this chick fight. It happens the 6th of April, and there is no reason they cannot make 50 boats. There's got to be 6 or 8 more teams of women or more that need to be in this. There's a lot of great women fishermen already signed up, but there's a bunch of them that are not signed up, and you need to get involved in this. If you ladies want to take the sport to the next level, here's your opportunity to do just that and say that you are the queen of Wheeler Lake or whatever. But we need 5 boats to make 50. If they make 50, I'm going to set the goal up to 60 because there's that many more women that can fish this tournament. I know there is.
I'll tell you what, I got to give all the credit in the world to Melinda, and I believe Ann White as her associate director. This thing went from, when did I talk to her? Maybe November, December. She was looking for sponsors. And I look at the banner they now have posted with all the sponsors, and hats off to everybody in the industry for supporting such a unique and great event like this.
Right.
Everybody stole my idea as far as converting the logos to pink, but that's okay.
That's right. It's a great event, and like I said, us guys wanted the women in. And now we've got them in. Now it's their time to shine, and we want them to shine. I'm more excited about watching this event than as if I was fishing it myself. And I know guys say, "Oh no, you're not." Well, yes, I am, because this is the chance for these ladies to show us how they can do it. And there's going to be some giant fish caught. I just know there is.
I talked to Melinda latter part of last week, and again over the weekend, and I actually created a sheet she's going to hand out to everybody so that they're reminded of recording video while they're out and about, whether it's the captain's meeting or when they're fishing or when they're hanging around in the crowd. So Melinda's going to hand that out so everybody will know exactly what to do and where to send the videos to and everything else. And another thing coming up in about 20 minutes. Well, I won't even say it because then everybody's going to jump from here and go to there. So I'm not going to say.
What do you say we spin the RIGRAP prize wheel? We'll get back on that.
Okay.
Let's do it. Jeremy,
your show.
I have everything all lined up for a spin at the RIGRAP prize wheel. If you would pick me out a number, we'll give her a spin and see if we can get somebody hooked up with some great prizes. Well,
being that Cindy and the Ishcomers are team 11, you might as well go 11.
Oh, 11. My God. You know what?
We're going to be here all night going through random.org. What happened to 1 through 5?
We're just going to go 11.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, he actually going to do it.
Somebody's got to teach Jeremy the rules.
Well,
4.
I only have 10 fingers, so it's hard to count to 11.
6, 7.
Wow.
8.
Really?
9.
That's a
10.
Well, he didn't say pick a number.
We got a long list.
3.
And 11. And the winner is Matthew Schott, SCHOTT.
Wow. Way to go, Matthew. That was a long wait to get your name called, huh?
You know what? We're all about having a good time. And I told everybody that with you guys on the show tonight, we would have a good time. We're going to have a good time.
We're not easy to deal with like Doc.
I miss old Doc. We talk quite B&M.
All right.
Now, Matthew, I will let you know that if you will, after the show, if you will message me either on Facebook on Catfish Weekly or send me an email at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, I have, in honor of the chick fight tournament coming up, I have a B&M rod that I'm going to mail to you. So be sure to get that.
Oh, nice.
We will talk to you then. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being in chat. Thank you guys so much for watching our show. We appreciate it so very much. Now, Glenn, I hated to interrupt you, but you know how I am about spinning that RIGRAP prize wheel.
Yeah, but you know how you are. Cindy's always got to remind you.
Glenn, you didn't find out anything about the inflatable life vest, have you? Northeast Kansas Fisherman.
I did, and I posted on the Catfish Weekly community page a week or so ago about that. And I put my foot in my mouth. I should have researched it a little bit more. When I talked to the vendor, the supplier of these things, manufacturer actually, and let me back up. They're great PFDs. I mean, they're beautiful. When I asked them if they were Coast Guard approved, they said yes. When I went back to talk to them, and I said, after the whole thing, I specifically asked, are these U.S. Coast Guard approved? They said no. They're approved everywhere in the world, international waters. They got all sorts of approvals, but they don't have the U.S. Coast Guard approval. So I picked up the phone and I called UL Labs, who does all the testing for the Coast Guard. And I went through with them and I asked them, what the procedure would be and, could we get these PFDs approved? $25,000 to $30,000 to get it certified. Whew. And that's if all the components are familiar to them. If they're not, it could be 2 to 3 times the amount. That's cool. That's one problem. The other problem is that because we're talking about a life-saving device, liability insurance is through the roof.
Yeah.
So as much as I'd like to have brought a great deal to everybody, and you know,
it was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Stephen,
like I said, they're great PFDs. It's just that they don't have that Coast Guard approval, sticker on them.
And without that seal approval, you will get a ticket.
Yes, you will.
It's that simple. Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate that so very much. Means the world to us. But, yeah, you got to try on a deal like that. But it didn't work out that time. But, you never know. Glen's liable to come up with something else.
Well, again, everybody was talking about it and how expensive they are. And I think it's a great idea that everybody have, something of good quality. And I source all sorts of things offshore, whether it be China or elsewhere. So I've got a lot of good contacts to find a lot of good products and manufacturers. And over the course of the last many years, I've come up with ideas and I've talked to people. So I've got manufacturers that I have a relationship with that I can go back and talk to and get further information.
We were talking about that today, Glen, about Mexico and United States and China and Canada and all the places. It's just a matter of who wants to do it and can do a lot of that stuff.
Well, and how you can bring a product to the market, a good quality product that's affordable. And, people say, hey, how come you don't make rig wraps in the United States? It's like, well, if you want to pay $12.99 for a 4-pack of plastic, I can do it here. And, what they fail to realize is that the profits that are made because we're buying it expensively offshore, the profits that are made remain in this country. So that's important to realize, that offshore manufacturers are getting a small piece of the pie, and the United States is getting that big piece of pie.
Yep.
I'm not, but important. Everybody else is.
Somebody is, yeah. That's exactly right. I got a topic for you guys that if you would like to indulge in, I have noticed on live feeds, and Jeremy, don't misunderstand me, because I watch every one of yours that I'm not at, and I enjoy the live feed so much. I think some of the people, there's a misconception with guys that are doing live feeds at tournaments because they're not getting sponsorship names out in there. And to clarify, what I'm saying is, when these tournament directors are doing a live feed on their tournament, and one of them over the weekend that I watched, King of the James, was done very well. They had a little internet issue, but it usually does have internet issues at a lot of these places where tournaments are held. But they was really good about talking about sponsors. They was really good about having their camera set where people could see the sponsors, because, fellas, the sponsorship money that these and items that are given to these tournaments is only a small portion, because if it was only the fishermen that see those ads and banners and stuff, that would only be 100 or 200 at most tournaments. But when it goes live and it's online, it touches thousands of people, and that's the reason why sponsors jump in to support these tournaments, because they're doing a live feed and they want to reach all the people that's out watching these live feeds at home, and they can see the advertising for their products. It is so important that these guys do that, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that. Jeremy, could you go first?
Oh, I agree completely. I had a little negative feedback about doing it from our own crew at one time, but it is so important because, like the Decatur, Alabama reached 56,000 people so far, with that big fish. So that's something that, most tournaments you just can't reach by people standing there watching. So when you can go to a sponsor, like when Glen called me about doing this 360 deal, there's more and more people seeing that they can reach way more people than what you would reach just standing there to weigh in. And we're tickled to death.
Show what's coming, Jeremy?
You should. I'm excited. You should show them.
This is one of the greater ideas for live feeds at tournaments that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it is so important.
This is the RIGRAP. What did I call the damn thing? Or the RIGRAP Live View Camera 360.
And you'll be able to pick a mouse on your screen when Jeremy goes live, when this is put into effect, you'll be able to take your mouse on your screen, or if you're on a phone, you can just tilt it or use your finger and drag it across there.
Yeah.
You can see above you, you can see below you, you can see off to any side, all the way around this tent. If somebody's standing in the way of what you're looking at, you just move it yourself and get away from that, which they shouldn't be up there to start with. But he'll have that mounted where you can see the vehicles, where you can see the fish being weighed. This is going to change the way live feeds at tournament weigh-ins are done.
Yes.
Now, the only problem with this is that Jeremy's going to have to hold it and spin it.
Well, he's tall enough he can get it above everybody's head.
But yeah, no, this is really cool. This is really cool, and it's not out there yet because I've been having a real challenge in trying to get the audio to this because it's in this dome. The audio is muffled and the camera itself does not have an audio jack. So we've got a receiver coming. It'll have speakers built into this that'll pick up the sound here. So it's coming.
Amazing. It really is. And Glenn, you and I have talked about this before when you was telling me your idea about this, when it first become a deal that you wanted to get involved with. I ordered one, and I have one for our boat. I'm going to try it on a tripod. Then I'm going to start making mounts for where we can put it in different spots. So when we're out fishing and we can use it there. Jeremy, I think this is going to be a home run for you. And I think it's going to help you do things that we never thought possible.
Yeah. And I think that everybody needs to know that the new RIGRAP 360 live feed, whatever the heck I call the thing, is exclusive to King Cat.
Yeah, and this is such a game changer because so often there's no way to, people don't understand that there's not two little fairies working up on stage with me. And so, I can't be everywhere at once. So people start calling me. I have people call me during the weigh-in knowing I'm weighing in fish, wanting me to move the camera, and it's way too much. But this allows everybody, it's going to be set up right in front of my stage. So it's going to be like you're sitting right in front of the stage. You can look at the tubs. You can look at them holding it up. You can even sit out there and look at them getting them out of the boat. And so the camera control is in your hands now.
Right. If you have a cell phone, okay, all you have to do is just take your phone and you can go like this with it. You can move it around like this, and it moves in the direction that you want to see. You can also use your fingers, and you can also zoom in.
Yes. Very neat concept. Sonny, hang on to that thought, Sonny Parker. We will get back to that in just a little bit, and if I forget it, be sure to remind me again. That's a great question. We need to answer that, but we're going to get done with this 360 thing first.
Yeah, so anyway, well, we're pretty much, the live feed, and Jeremy, you as a tournament director, Lyle, you've got experience in all aspects of this, both as a tournament director, as a rod manufacturer, as a tournament participant. The folks that are fishing these tournaments certainly are important to us. But you're also talking about a limited demographic, if you will. You're talking about 200, 300, maybe even up to 500 people between the anglers and their spouses and friends and kids and everything else. When you do a live feed, there's thousands upon thousands of people that are going to see this event. And the better the live feed, the better, the audience participation and enjoyment, for future events.
That's right.
We talked about King of the James earlier. Matthew Miles, he knocked himself out to go out of his way to make sure that, one of my pet peeves, make sure you're not holding a camera like this. You turn the thing.
That's right.
Your screen isn't like this, folks. Your screen is like that.
And it's reversed.
Well, but he made that adjustment a couple
Yeah.
times. He dropped the ball once, and that was when he was giving out the awards, and somebody didn't have the camera set up right, and people's heads were cut off and everything else.
But going to happen.
But you want to know something? The glass certainly is much more full than empty in the efforts that he made yesterday. And I got to tell you, hats off to him as a sponsor. Fantastic. Not to mention I had a banner front and center, but you know it was really well done. And Jeremy, you do a great job with your sponsors overall. If you didn't, quite frankly, I wouldn't be participating. You're a great guy.
Jeremy always talking about his sponsors and things, and that's really good. And he's always got his banners and stuff up there. But Matthew did this on a first go round, and that's what the part that was most impressive. He had it right the first time, where some of us it took years to get to the point to do that. But he had some good intel from other people too.
Right.
Bill
Arnold wants to know, how does 100 people control it at the same time? Well, Bill, it's done off of your computer, whether it be your phone, your tablet, your home PC. If you're sitting at home, you just take your mouse and you click on it, and you can move that screen around and watch it. It's done through your computer, not on the camera itself. So everybody can watch any part of that they want to watch. And like Glen was saying, if you're holding your phone like this and you want to see it up, you just tilt it up and you tilt it down, and that changes where the camera's showing you. And everybody that's watching it can do the same thing. It doesn't affect the next person.
Let me try to maybe explain it a little differently. What happens is the camera is taking a picture, not in just what you see in the frame, but it's taking the picture all the way around, okay, and all above and all below.
Right.
And that data is there for you to look at. So because you have a flat screen, you can only see this, but all this other data is there for you to see it. So anybody can go ahead, and 2 people can be looking here and 1 person here and 20 people here and whatever. So it's not a question of controlling the camera. The camera's already giving you that information.
Yeah, it's controlling your view.
Correct.
What the camera sees.
The direction of the overall picture the camera's taking.
Right. Now, the other thing is, for sponsors or potential sponsors or people that's even remotely thinking about it, here's your chance to get in on the ground level of something that's going to be really big on tournament weigh-ins. I think this is something. Yes, Mickey Holland Panoramic. That's a great explanation for it. But this is going to turn out and work out to be something huge as time goes along. I look for it to really grow. And 360 camera imaging in the last couple of years, as you know, Glen, has really, the quality has improved a great deal.
Yeah. No, I've been looking at it for a number of years and watching it, and quite frankly, the next generation, the 5G networks, once we get those in place, I'll tell you what, that's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. So I'm anxious to see how this is going to work out for Jeremy and for the Bass Pro Cabelas King Cat Tour. I think that everybody's going to have a lot of fun with this. Jeremy's cell phone bill is going to be absolutely through the roof, but I'm sorry.
You know what? An independently wealthy gentleman like Jeremy can afford that phone bill.
Yeah, 24 and independently wealthy don't go together.
You haven't had kids yet.
But yeah, no, it's going to be great, and certainly, I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out, and eventually we'd like to do this for other tournaments, but in all fairness, this is a King Cat exclusive for this year.
Absolutely.
And I want to do everything I can to support Jeremy and his cause and all the anglers that are out there and everybody that's watching.
Yep.
People don't realize that it's the live feeds of these tournaments. If there's tournament directors out there watching, live feeds are so important, and you've got to do it right.
Yep.
You've got to do it. And let me, if I can, and I had this conversation with Melinda for the chick fight, if you're going to broadcast live on Facebook, you can actually bring in a second camera as a picture-in-picture into that. because and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Facebook allows 2 cameras, 2 inputs, correct?
Right. That's correct.
Okay. So you can actually bring in a picture-in-picture. So you've got your main feed, and then you can also have a picture-in-picture of, let's say, your banner it's got all your sponsors on it. Because we as sponsors, we need the exposure. We count on the exposure.
That's why you make the donations.
Yeah, and that's why the live feeds are so important. Again, the tournament participants are very important to us. I don't want to try lessening that at all. But those live feeds and the exposure that we get as a manufacturer, as a product, is very, very important.
That's right. Hey, we're late.
Yes, we are.
Glenn, pick me out a number.
Low number.
I was going to say 25. I mean,
No.
But how about all right, somebody give me a number in chat real quick. I want to see a number in chat. First number in chat. Nobody's paying attention?
2.
2. Okay, there it is.
1. I love that number.
It was 2.
2.
It was 2.
Oh, you know you love 11.
Yeah, I did that time. The winner is Travis Easter, Easter.
Well, coming up at his time of year.
You got a question for Jeremy after this. It has to do with the planer boards.
Yeah, we need to get that
because that
on
is
there. It's a great question. Sonny, if you will repost that, I'd appreciate it.
Are you gonna put me on the spot and make me do like captain's meeting stuff?
Oh no.
I hadn't made it to Kansas yet. My brain's not in tournament mode yet.
Absolutely not put you on the spot. Travis, if you will if you will contact Jody at Fish Life and tell him you won a prize on Catfish Weekly, he will get you a product right out from his great line of stuff. We use them all the time as far as live well cleaners and stuff to keep fish from bleeding. They've got a product that you put on them to stop them from bleeding. It's just a really, really cool. Walleye Thomas.
Thank you.
Walleye Thomas, thank you so much. You have done this before, and words cannot describe how much it means to us for all the things you do for Catfish Weekly. We appreciate it so very much.
And we use that to mail off people's stuff.
And buy new stuff for the show and different things. And thank you. Thank you.
I thought that went to pay for me and Glenn.
Yeah.
Now the question that way.
We're the cheap help, Jeremy.
I'm telling you, it's
Patriot Catfish of America. Welcome.
That'll come in handy for the new computer and for this new program. Jeremy, you've seen this program in action. This new program that Lyle is going to put in place.
Yeah, I had my green screen up and everything. I was thinking you were going to put me in some cool background.
Well, we would, but we just overextend my computer, and there's no sense to keep fighting it. People didn't like it.
Yeah,
with it. And okay, here's Sonny's question.
I know.
Do you consider a planer board as part of the boat? There is a distance regulation for tournaments, but I see people running boards closer to boats.
So
the distance away. Should there be a distance? Thank you, Jared Beckman.
There is. So the distance regulation in our tournament, as well as most, is you have to stay away. You have to stay 50 yards from a boat that was first anchored, and that is a physical anchor with a rope from the anchor to the boat, not a spot lock trolling motor or something like that. So if they are anchored, yes, you would need to stay 50 yards from wherever that planer board is. But I've never really, I know they do it. I know they anchor and use planer boards, but what I tell them anytime that's going on is, you need to be respectful of everybody else's boundaries and
that's right.
and not run in between planer boards. And there's no real clear way to answer that, because it comes down to you paying attention on where you're running. And if somebody's got planer boards out, obviously not run close to them unless it's a tight channel and you can't get out of the, if you're on Barkley Lake on the Cumberland River, you may not have an option to get away from the planer boards because that puts you on the bank. But that's just one of them things, is being attentive to your surroundings and other fishermen while you're running or fishing either way, and just not get close to them in the first place. a common courtesy type deal. But our distance regulations is from boats that are anchored, that are first anchored. You know, if you drop the anchor first, you have that right of way, I guess, per se, over the guys that come in on top of you. So.
That's right. Stephen Harry, you are correct. It is a respect thing, and you know, you got to respect. These guys spend a lot of money on planer boards. They're not cheap, and it doesn't matter what brand it is. Some of them are harder to see than others. Others are easier to see than some others. But the end result is, if you're that close to a boat, you probably shouldn't be going wide open to start with. So just pay attention to your surroundings and make sure that you're in a safe environment. Gerard, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Every little bit does help.
I would not want my motor to get wrapped around someone's fishing line.
Oh, we've been through that. Not the planer board, but we've been through that.
But the respect goes both ways too. You know, if there's a team that is fishing the same stretch, and you say, "Oh, I'm going to cut him out," so you send the planer board way out there past where you need to be fishing anyways.
Yeah.
Then the respect goes both ways. So you know,
there is a thing.
It's a little more common sense and respect together.
Jeremy, there's something about planer boards that realistically they can only go out so far, and you'd be able to see them, because I don't care what body of water you on. And sure as the world, over there, we're at Milford this weekend, there's going to be waves, and they go up and down, and you can't see them. If you can't see them pretty readily, you might have them a little further than you need to have them.
Yeah, that's right. And I understand, you know, if you're running in choppy waters or something like Milford will probably be this weekend, and you're using planer boards, you have to also realize that people may not be able to see them, because
that's correct.
I fish a lot, and I'm from a lake. There's a lot of striper fishermen, and you can come around a bend, and there they are, and there's, you know, 8 planer boards out, and you just have to shut her down and do the best you can not to affect them. But sometimes, you know, like I said, there's no really good regulation or rule to put in place. It's just
that's correct.
Common sense and respect.
Our buddy Steve Johnson says it's just like being the regulated distance, but throw your baits towards another boat, and that's kind of true. It's a courtesy thing.
It sounds like more of a common sense thing.
That's basically it. Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously a courtesy, but you know, if you see somebody that's pulling planer boards, stay away from them.
That's right. Don't get too close.
If you're gonna pass them, pass them on the bow. Don't pass them at the stern.
Yeah, it's like Cindy said. The last thing you want is to get that guy's braided line or 80-pound mono tangled up in your prop. I mean, my God, then you cut your seal out. And you're sitting on the sideline at the next one.
Well, if you do, just make sure you got a pair of ceramic super cutters. Cut that braid out of that prop.
John Spears has a great question here. Speaking of that, when you go past another boat or one that's passing you, do you prefer them to go slow or fast? Fast will get out of the way faster. I prefer them to go on at a more rapid rate, because when they go slow, the front of the boat is all cocked up, and it makes a big old weight. When they go on past you, they're usually on plane, and you have less of a weight coming at you. That's the way I like it, anyhow.
You know, here in Florida, what happens is that, you know, we're out trolling. Now, we troll obviously a bit faster than you guys do with a planer board.
Right.
You know, we're trolling anywhere between 5 and 12 miles per hour. And some of the lures that, you know, we troll are very expensive. I'll give you an example. Last time I was out trolling, I had a $80 Wahoo lure I was towing. And it was pretty far out there, but some guy comes ripping along the stern at about 200 feet and just took that whole lure right with him. And it's like, you never pass a boat. If they're trolling, if they're moving, they're probably trolling. Never pass a boat at the stern, always at the bow.
That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and there's another good opinion there. You know, if you get that close to them, there's less of a wake if you stay on plane than if you just shut it down and
that's right.
them. So.
Yeah.
I used to always slow way down whenever I come up on a boat. And a guy told me one time at the ramp, he said, I wish you just went on biased. He said, but by the time you got that thing slowed down, the wake was 3 times what it would have been if you just kept going.
Yeah.
And I noticed that after that, and I'd prefer them just go on. Now, if they're going slow to start with, it doesn't make no difference. But if they're going fast, I don't ever slow down anymore because the wake is less on them.
Yeah. But, so, Jeremy, how many tournaments? How many tournaments a year do you do as far as for King Cat? Now, I know you also have, the crappie tournaments. But for King Cat, how many tournaments are there?
Last year and this year both, we have 21. So I've got 21 this year, and we run all the way through November. And almost all the weekends that I'm not at a catfish, I'm somewhere at a crappie. So we run pretty hard, especially through the spring, and then it kind of slows down. And then, of course, like July, we have ICAST, where I first met you, 5 years ago when we first signed you on, 5 or 6 years ago as a sponsor. And so they keep me hopping. But, I get to see so many great catfishermen across the country, from the Carolinas up the East Coast, all the way out to Texas and Nebraska, and hopefully next year all the way out to the West Coast. So
that'd be great. I see.
You're young enough. You can go ahead and do that.
That's right. How about we spin the wheel again, fellas?
Okay with me.
Jeremy, you got a number smaller than 11?
10.
Yes, Steve.
10. I like 10.
10. All right.
No, just one. Just one.
One?
He's going to go to 10 again.
Mike Sampson.
Yeah, do one.
Mike Sampson, if you'll contact. Well, wait a minute. Let's see what you win.
You got to find out what they're going to get first.
Structure snakes. Mike, if you contact Rusty Jackson with Structure Snakes, you can contact him on Facebook and tell him that you won on the RIGRAP prize wheel. He will send you out some of them to try out. You're going to love them. They're one of the greater ones that I've used. I like them all, but his works really well. And Cindy and I have been using them for around a year or a little over, and we have yet to lose the first one. So that speaks volumes to me. It's a great product. Rusty is a great guy to deal with, and he will fix you up with a great prize. Speaking of big fish, last night Stacy Gaston put a 103 in a boat on Wilson Lake.
And he didn't have a RIGRAP super
He had an 89 at my tournament.
What's that? Yeah, an 89. That's right. He put that fish in the boat, fellas, by himself. Reeled it up. It was he thought it was on one line, and he thought he lost the fish, and come to find out the lines was tangled, and he ended up catching it on another rod and got it netted by himself. He was so wore out by the time he got it done, he could barely get it lifted up standing on his live well. What a giant fish. Congratulations, Stacy, on a good fish. And Joey Kirby and another gentleman was down there to help him weigh it to make sure they got the weight on it right. But it wasn't. When he pulled it in the boat, I knew it was a stud. I stayed up and watched him. Of course, I was up anyhow, but giant fish.
I think they're out at it again tonight. I think that Dale from Dale's Tackle,
yes,
Joey Kirby and Stacy are out fishing again tonight. So we might see something come along from these guys again.
75.
What's that?
They just caught a 75.
I'm telling you. Who caught the 75?
Jeremy. Steve Douglas would like to know if the crappie is biting. He's itching to go fishing.
Crappie or aging carp? I don't know the difference anymore.
Crappie. I'm sure Steve can get all the Asians he wants.
Well, if anybody hasn't been to Kentucky or Barkley Lake, the Cumberland in Tennessee, we have a major Asian carp problem, which has affected all of our game fish, striper all the way to crappie, except for catfish. We still have some good catfish left, but what few crappie we have left are biting. Water temperatures 56, 57 degrees, and I actually went today and went in long line today, so they are biting. We just probably gonna have a few good weeks, but they're up pretty shallow. So
they're up pretty shallow.
Can't give a fishing report on the crappie.
Are they staging up?
Yeah, they're starting to stage. Yeah, the black crappie are already up shallow, and the white crappie are staging to move up. So,
hey, Jeremy, have you ever considered doing a combination tournament? Have you ever considered doing a combination tournament where
yeah,
two catfish and 4 crappie or whatever the case might be?
Yeah, we were actually fixing to do that on Carlisle Lake, and it didn't work out date-wise. But, yeah, there should be a few tournaments next year where we do that. So, we have a high school. Yeah, we actually, me and Lyles talked about this on our Wednesday deals. But this year we actually started a high school crappie deal. And it's scholarships that go out to all the winners. It's no entry fee. Everything's just scholarships that goes back. But we started that in the high school world in crappie, and once we get our heads around it, we're going to try to bring it out in the catfish world too. So that's something to look forward to in the future is a high school catfish deal.
I think that.
Yeah, I think in Sunny Park, I mean, a multi-species tournament. I think it's again, there's catfish guys and there's crappie guys. It's kind of like the Hatfields and McCoy sometimes the way I figure. But I gotta believe that a lot of guys would enjoy kind of breaking it all up a little bit and having some fun that way. And it also kind of breaks up and kind of separates out the disciplines and who knows more about what.
Well, being that I'm here on a catfish show, you would be bait fisherman and real fisherman. So I'll just go ahead and do it to myself because I figure it's coming.
I don't know who would ever say anything like that.
Well, you could always call it, catfish.
Well, it's coming.
Catfish.
I just had one
weekly.
Text message come in.
Don't hate.
No,
don't hate.
I'm not doing that. I do like crappie though. They are good.
Yeah, but you're not telling people you're selling your boat to a crappie guy.
Oh, I think he answered that. Yeah, didn't you answer Brandon on when the?
Yeah, no, the rig pack for the lure lockers and the purples and the reds is being worked on. They created it, and the problem is that the lid couldn't close. So what I had to do is I had to add an additional row, which is great for everybody, and that additional row will hold oranges and yellows. So it'll be very, very nice. And if I'm going to throw in a little picture, I've got something coming that is called the pack all. And if you've got a rig pack, you're going to love this. And there's only a few people that have seen this. Lyle, you saw it.
Yep.
What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah. You're going to like it. You're going to love this.
Yep.
You will not need anything more than a rig pack and a pack all.
Yep.
And you'll be good to go. So anyways, we were talking about tournaments. We're talking about live feeds.
What I missed now.
We've got the RIGRAP Live 360 camera coming to the Bass Pro. I keep wanting to say Cabelas, but I know it's Bass Pro Cabelas. Johnny Morris. I'm sorry. I keep Bass Pro Cabelas. King Cat, series. King of the James, I thought if you're a tournament director, you didn't see what Matt Miles did, take a look at it. He was on the right track all the way. And that's what has to happen. The chick fight coming up, I think Melinda is going to set this thing up, and we're going to see some great feeds and great videos. That's going to be a riot. I want to see the videos off of these boats. The captains of these boats, the guys that are taking them out, if in fact it is the guys that are taking them out, the husbands, boyfriends, whatever, you got to shoot video. A lot of it. This way, not that way. This way.
Start your feed when you start filming. Start it with the camera horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah. You got to start it like this. You start it like this, you'll be in good shape.
You know what I'm going to do now, Lyle.
What's that?
Start one the wrong way.
I'm starting mine like this, just for meanness.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, fine. You know what? Melinda, call me up. I'm going to send this to you.
The 360 camera, it was too easy. Fixed will be out and in use. They're waiting, Sean. They're waiting to get, or Sonny, they're waiting to get the audio corrected on it to where it doesn't sound muffled. And as soon as that's corrected, it will be sent to Jeremy and put in use. No cell service at First Creek. That is so very true and very sad. As many tournaments as held out of First Creek, you'd think somebody'd stick a tower up there. Well, you need it.
Go to Decatur. That's right.
That's right. And one of the things that will help with that is a hotspot. It won't fix it, but it'll help a great deal if there's a hotspot being used.
Yeah. The other thing you have to realize too is that, you know, the data going out with a hotspot, it's the more things you have connected to it going out. It's like an hourglass. The more things you have connected to a router, that pinch in the hourglass gets smaller because it can't get all that data through.
That's right.
So you got to really open up the network for something like this, because this is a lot of data. I mean, it's all this video, all this audio, and but it is cool. It is really cool. So I think Melinda's got a great thing going on there. Shoot video, and she's got this little flyer that she and I created together. She's going to hand out. It'll tell everybody exactly what's needed and how to do it and everything else. So she was a big help in creating that. I'm just trying to think. There was something else. Oh, I know what. Can I tell people now?
Hang on just a second. Folks, I am very, very sorry about whoever these guys are coming in our chat and typing these ignoramus messages, but we are eliminating them as fast as we see them, so please bear with us.
Got rid of 3.
We got rid of 3 so far tonight, and we'll continue to get rid of them. We're not going to tolerate that from anyone or anybody. Some of the people that are on my friends list have made some ignorance post in our chat before, and they are eliminated from being in there. And just to let everybody know that I am a no BS kind of guy, and I won't tolerate any negativity on my page on Facebook, Catfish Weekly's page, or on anything out of line in this chat. I do not put up with that. And if you don't have anything positive to say on any of my stuff, then it's a pretty good chance you won't be around long, just to let everybody know.
All righty then. So we are talking about the chick fight coming up. After you leave Catfish Weekly, don't leave now. After you leave Catfish Weekly, because it's going to be published in about 20 minutes. You can enter to win a whole bunch of great RIGRAP stuff. You go on to facebook.com/RIGRAP and enter in the chick fight. Pick the team who you think is going to win. And if we pick your name, you're going to win some great RIGRAP stuff. So do it.
You got a kind of a shirt bet going on with somebody. Maybe David Funk?
Oh, I'm telling you what, David Funk, is a pain in my. Wait a minute. First, let's go back and start and explain. David Funk gets on there after they post the list of teams. He says, "I vote for everybody to win." It's like, come on, you wuss! You were afraid of a bunch of girls. I said, pick a team. So he, I twisted his arm. He picked a team. Obviously, he didn't pick, the Catfish Weekly Team RIGRAP team 11. So he's going to lose. So if he wins, which he's not, I've got to send him a RIGRAP T-shirt. If I win, he's got to send me $1,000.
Oh wow,
that's not fair.
No. He's got to send me a Kraken T-shirt. So, but I'm telling you what, he just shows up. He shows up with all, and just he tortures me.
Oh Oh man, he's a hoot, boy. He is one of the better, more fun guys in our sport, David Funk.
He really is. He really is. And you know what? And again, prayers to his family and stuff. He just lost his brother recently. Absolutely. So good guy.
Yep.
I love stirring the pot with him. He's a lot of fun.
That's right.
He's a little, I think, not, I won't say it, but he's good. No, he's a good guy. He's really good. I enjoy having fun.
Yeah, he's a blast.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I have fun with a lot of people. I mean, James Dockery, who's RIGRAP Customer of the Year. I don't know if anybody saw that post, but he had a stash of all his RIGRAP stuff, and his wife found it, and she posted it. Says, "I was spring cleaning. Look what I found," and he blames me.
Well, you don't think he's going to take the blame himself, do you, Glenn?
Well, I had nothing to do with it. He places an order. What am I going to do? Say, I'm just going to take your money, but I'm not going to send anything because your wife's going to get upset.
Well, now
I go ahead and I send it out. I got what am I going to do?
Hey,
I still have to offer the highest quality customer service I can.
Well, maybe you should just email Katie and ask her if it's all right if James buys some more stuff.
No.
I'm not getting in the middle of it.
James said, shh. She's watching, Glenn. Shh. Be quiet.
Well, he keeps blaming it on me. He's trying to gets me in trouble with his wife. It's not my fault.
Well, if somebody's got to be blamed, I would much rather be you than me. Just so you know.
Hey,
is that how you feel about it, Jeremy?
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody's got to get the blame,
I'm not getting in it.
Yeah, no, Jeremy, it's a good idea. I mean,
I'm just going to stay out of it. I've already been in trouble with Cindy.
No, don't get in trouble with Cindy. Or as we like to call her, effing Cindy. Should we tell that story?
We don't tell that story.
Let's tell this story. I don't know if any of you saw this. It was a few months back. It was a few months back, and Lyle was going trying to get somewhere so that he could do his Live with Lyle show on Fridays at 3:00. So didn't quite make it to where they were going, so they were going to go live while they were driving the car. So obviously, inadvertently, Cindy started the live feed. But the whole problem was the camera was pointed at the dashboard, and all we kept on hearing was, "No, I told you to effing turn here. No, effing listen to me." And it just kept on going for like 30 minutes or for 30 seconds to a minute. I'm sending emails. I'm trying to call him going, "Hey, you're live." So that's why Cindy now is known as effing Cindy. We're gonna get Cindy made. We're gonna Cindy made a T-shirt that says "effing Cindy."
James. Sonny, I never got to see it. I would have liked to rewatched it. I didn't even get to listen to it. Cindy had deleted it before we even got to
about 5-10 minutes.
It wasn't that long, but she got it shut down and deleted before I ever got
that was funny. That was funny.
We hope that never happens again. It was not. Yeah, I'm sure. We never intended for that to happen, but it did happen, and that's part of doing live stuff. Yeah, Adam, I'd take some of them about now. She's cut me off of the cinnamon rolls, and I did have a red velvet cake. I ate it in 24 hours, all but one piece, I think. But it was awesome. That red velvet cake was yes, sir, buddy Bob. Wasn't
it? No, it was. And I'll tell you what, when I was at the Catfish conference, I had an opportunity to drive with Cindy and Lyle, and I got to tell you, that goes on all the time. I mean, not to that degree, but I mean, it was. I was fearing for my life.
If you really want to know how life really is with Cindy and I, ask Doc. He's been in the boat with us for multiple days at a time.
Well, ask Sonny. Sonny was.
Well, Sonny Parker's another one. Yeah, he'd know.
He's saying spin the wheel. I think he wants to get off the subject.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm all lined up, ready to go. Glenn, pick me out a number.
3.
1, 2.
Or should I say F and 3?
3. And this time the winner is, nope, Mickey Holland. It went away and then come right back. Mickey Holland.
Are you sure that didn't say Jeremy?
Nope. It was close.
We're going to have to get you some better glasses, Lyle.
I've got 2
I think you
pairs.
misread it.
Got 2 pairs.
Are you signed up, Jeremy?
Bass and
I am
Moore.
signed up. I think.
You better be.
Bass and Moore. Mickey, if you'll contact Sheila and Jim and Brandon, all the good folks down at Bass and Moore in Owensville, Kentucky, and tell them you won a prize on Catfish Weekly by spinning the RIGRAP prize wheel. They will hook you up with a great product from their store, and they've got everything that you could possibly want in the catfishing world. And tell them, hey, because they are such great friends of ours, and we can't wait to see them again. Thanks for watching the show and signing up for the prize wheel. And thanks, Jim and Sheila, for being part of the RIGRAP prize wheel. It's an awesome thing that they do for our sport.
You got a picture of
So tell them a little bit about what we've been doing on Wednesday, Lyle.
Yeah.
We do a show on Wednesday that Jeremy and I come up with. What we talked about it last year quite a little bit and did 1 or 2. And then this year we started it out called Where in the World is Jeremy Coe? And we've been coming on about 6 on Wednesday evenings. Seems to work out better for him. We started it like in the middle of the afternoon, but the evening thing seems to work. And he's either traveling or going somewhere or already there. And we have a great time talking about where Jeremy's at, what's coming up next, where he's been. We talked about some of the big fish you weighed in, and you did weigh in a big fish, dude.
We did. Congrats. Well, we weighed in 2 big fish. Stacy Gaston and the Ishcomers had a 90, and then Carl Morris and Rob Parsons had 115. So I was impressed.
That's giant. Yeah. Sonny Parker says that he got his guided trip that he won last week all set up. Congratulations, Sonny. I know you're going to have a great time with Chris and Kylie. They'll be a blast to be in. There's some great folks. Really enjoyed having them on the show. They're finer people I've not found. Really cool people to visit with and do a show with. We really enjoyed that so much. And I want to see pictures of them fish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Chris has been putting some studs in the boat, him and Kylie both. So it all be great.
Chris, where is that? That's in Texas or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Hey, speaking about Texas and Oklahoma, the Catmaster boys, PK boys, have got a tournament is it the January tournament?
October,
the Texoma?
PK Cat Masters, Possum Kingdom Cat Masters will be in October on Possum Kingdom Lake in Texas. I think they told me about an hour and a half or so outside of Dallas, and $30,000 to win, $70,000 in prizes to the top 10 as of now. Great event. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to close the entries at 200, and they're at, what was it I seen today, 155?
What?
Yeah, I think I saw that same number.
5 spots left. So if you want to get entered in that, get a hold of them guys. They are a blast. They are super nice guys. I enjoy them so much. We'll be doing another live show with them before long. But the one to back that up is the tournament they're doing on Lake Texoma in January. $40,000 to win and $90,000 paid out to the top 5 teams, and that's just unconscionable. It really is.
That's a big number. I'll tell you. We talked about King of the James and how great a job that Matt did, but Brian and Skinny and the guys, they really have put things together and are moving forward with their events in just a whole different level, which is fantastic to see. They do such a great job, and hats off, guys. You are doing it right.
They're raising the bar for what we ever thought catfishing would ever be 30 years ago. Doc and I started fishing tournaments, and it's been 25, 30 years ago since him and I started doing these, not together, but you know, him and I've been around a long time, and I would have never believed that we'd ever seen $30,000 or $40,000 for a first place prize in a tournament. But here we are. Them boys are killing it. We're so proud of them. I don't know how they get it done, but I'm glad they get it done. And it's a new bar for everybody else, and some of them may never reach that, because you're right, that's a huge number. But great guys. It's going to be a lot of fun going down there to fish those tournaments with these boys. They work really hard to put on a great show, and I know that they do. And we're going to have a blast, just like we do when we go see Jeremy.
Oh no, and again, I'm you know, look, as far as I'm concerned, and Jeremy, wow long has it been now? 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, you know, going on 6, I think.
They do a fantastic job. They really do. And you know, somebody would have to go a long ways to get to the level and the professionalism that you know, King Cat puts on. But as far as, I'll call them specialty tournaments or unique tournaments that happen around the country, the PK, you know, Catfish, they just do a fantastic job. And what they're doing for the sport and elevating, you know, because of the dollar amount, the venues, you know, just overall, I think it's just fantastic. So keep up the good work.
It really is.
You know, not only them, but you know, again, watch somebody like King of the James, you know, what they did. That's where it's going, folks. That's where it needs to be.
Dustin Fall says he hears there's going to be a new tournament coming up next year. I have heard about that. There's also a good tournament coming up this fall at St. Louis, which we're really excited about that. They're coming up everywhere.
What's some of Jeremy's tournaments coming up? Someone asked.
Somebody asked what Jeremy's tournament's coming up. I know he's got Milford Lake this weekend. What else you got coming up, Jeremy?
The first weekend of April, we go to Old Hickory Lake, right there outside of Nashville. We go back out to South Carolina. I'm going to do lots of traveling here the next few months, but we're going to go back out to South Carolina April 13th or 12th or 13th, and go to Watts Bar Lake, one of my favorite places to go. 1st of May, Gallipolis, Tell City, all in May, and then we start going north to Illinois. So
that'll be a great
we've added 2 new tournaments. You know, me and Lyles talked about this. And it's on top of some other tournaments, and I couldn't help it as to get my foot in the door, and I wasn't going to pass up an opportunity. But we will be October 12th, I think it is, in Crothersville, Missouri, and we added another one October 19th up in Grafton, Illinois, both on the Mississippi River. So add those to your schedule as well.
They'll be great tournaments. Yes, Mickey, Bass, and more, just like you have it printed out there. They have a Facebook page. Jim and Sheila Sparks, and you'll be thrilled. Yeah, they were both great venues for having tournaments, and I'm excited about those. I'm so glad that you got them. I really missed the fact that you didn't get one on Lake of the Ozarks this year, but maybe next year. One of the things that Alex Nagy's having a tournament the 6th of April on Lake of the Ozarks, and I wish him the best. I hope he has a great turnout. I really do. I really wanted to fish that tournament, but I will not miss the opportunity to watch Cindy and Nikki and Hannah weigh in fish. I will be at the chick fights instead of fishing myself. I think that this is going to be that big of a deal. I really think that they're going to have a lot bigger spectator number than they realize, and that I hope that they do, because I really am looking forward to this tournament for them women. But Jeremy,
and they're going.
Yeah, no, the chick fight is
going to catch more fish than you would have going fishing anyway.
Oh, so. I got a feeling.
Wow, he's throwing you under the bus.
What's that?
He just said they're liable to catch more fish than you
always catch more fish.
Well,
he's throwing you under the bus. He's calling you out.
That's all right. I can take it. I didn't get this old to not be able to take it.
All right. Well, I'm just stirring the pot.
What kind of weights do you take to go off?
What?
What kind of weights do you take to go off of?
I don't know what you're saying or where you're seeing it.
Dave Funk.
To Gallipolis?
Gallipolis. I'm saying it right.
It could be on the Ohio River. Depends on how the water conditions are. I would say anything from 2 or 3 to 6 or 8 depends on the water conditions. I would be prepared, because if the water goes up, they'll have more current. You'll need more weights, and if the water's not there, not real swift current, then you won't need quite as much.
Well, if you need more weights, get yourself some easy sinker slides. You just take them, add them on, and send them down. You don't have to cut your line. Right?
That's right. That's right. Sonny, I'm all over that. You just keep in touch, and we'll try to make that happen.
As long as it's not on Texoma.
Yeah, as long as it's not on one of the big tournaments that we've already got wrote down. And we have a list of stuff to where we was going to go. And I would have really liked to run out and fish Milford with you this weekend, Jeremy, but I know how windy it gets out there. I've never been out there, but I've seen and heard the horror stories, and I don't want to be a part of one of them.
And this boat,
this boat might be sold, so I don't want to take a chance on something to happen to it, haul it out there and back.
Did you get that new boat up and running yet?
Not yet. We're getting really, really close.
Not yet.
Getting really close.
Cool.
Excited.
Yeah, we are getting excited about this new.
Yeah, I saw a picture of the new boat. That looks pretty good.
Yep, I'm really excited about it, but I'm sure I'm going to miss this one. I really like it too. It is just absolutely a great boat, and we'll hope to get some stuff going in it. And I've got a couple of guys that's pretty interested in it, and we'll see how that works out. And they will, whoever ends up with this boat. I've seen boats advertised recently that's several years older and not near as nice as this, with smaller motors, and they want more money for them. And this one has a full warranty, so somehow that doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. Melinda, at this time, I think Jerry is. But if something would come up, all I got to do is hook on and take it down there. In fact, I actually thought about taking our boat anyhow, so we could pre-fish out of 2 boats, and that way I might get to fish a little bit, but I'm not sure we're going to do that yet. It's just going to depend on the sale of this boat, and if the other one's ready. There's a lot of variables in there, so we're kind of up in the air about that right now. Like I say, if the boat is sold, I don't want to haul it around too much and use it. It has full warranty on it, and somebody's going to get a dandy of a boat. But if something would come up and Jerry doesn't want to, I will have a boat there. Not a problem.
Cindy?
Yes?
Go for it, baby. You got to win that.
That's right.
Don't you jinx us.
There's no question in my mind.
How am I jinxing you? I'm wishing you good luck. Okay. How am I jinxing you?
Hey, Glenn, why don't you draw up the names in chat again?
What are you going to do?
Oh, man. I knew you were going to ask me to do that.
No, I'm not going to give that away twice. We only got one of them.
Destin said he'll
come down and fish with me. Another thing I thought about when the girls was out doing that, we could go out and videotape and take pictures of the different teams and not get too close to irritate any of them. But we done that at Lake of the Ozarks and visited with Larry Muse while him and Dino was fishing, and several of the other people, and we had a really good time doing that, and didn't bother anybody. So I think that was really cool. Now, what we're going to do this time, we have a Ted Ellensbecker, Any Fish, Any Water, Volume 1. And that is what we're gonna draw for this time. So whenever Glenn is ready, he can tell us who the winner is.
All right. I'm having a little trouble here pulling up the list.
Well, while he's doing that, Glenn, being that we're doing our Wednesday thing, that's 2 days from now, on where in the world is Jeremy Coe? Whoever can guess on here, I just sent you a picture. I just texted to you of our new jerseys that match our trailer.
Okay.
But whoever on here can guess where I will be Wednesday when we go live, we'll send them a brand new jersey when they come in a month or so.
And they look amazing.
But they have to. Yes, they have to guess where in the world is Jeremy Coe before the show starts on Wednesday, and we'll go back and look. and whoever's the first one to guess correctly, we'll send them a jersey when they come in. So,
and you'll need to post them on the Catfish Weekly public page.
Someone said Buffalo.
Do what?
Buffalo, Missouri. No, he won't be in Buffalo, Missouri. No. Well, you can put that down if you want, Sean.
All right, I'm loaded up.
All right, you're loaded up. What's the top name on the list?
Sonny said Glen's a lot slower than
Doc.
Well, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here.
We miss Doc.
Yeah, I miss Doc too. You know, I got a face for radio, not this. Okay. Junior Proctor, Blue Dog Fishing.
Junior Proctor, congratulations. Send me your shipping address and everything after the show, Junior, and you will receive one. Now, these are, you plug them in there. Let me pull this out, and I'll try, because one guy didn't have a little trouble figuring it out. But it comes like this. This is what you receive. And I have trouble getting these out for whatever reason. No. Damn it.
Is it that little gizmo you showed me the other day?
Here this comes out.
Oh,
and
that's
you
not
plug
it.
that into a USB port in your computer, and you just leave it. It just plugs in, and then you can watch your video just like that. And you will receive this. And Ted, for those of you that have forgotten, Ted is one of the most great speakers that we've ever had on the show. He does seminars all over the place for multiple species of fish, but he loves his flatheads, and great information on this. So send me your shipping address, Junior. I'm sure that you'll enjoy it. And by the way, Junior, I enjoy most all your videos that I watch, and I watch every one you put out. So that's awesome. Dwayne Buckridge would like to know, when is the captain's meeting before Bilford?
Our captain's meeting is Friday night from 5 to 7 at Acorns Resort, or that's late registration. Captain's meeting will begin at 7. So
at 7.
That's Friday night. Yeah.
Where?
Friday night, the day before the tournament. Acorns Resort. And then we will launch everybody out of Farnham Creek, which is in the same parking lot as Acorns Resort. So,
did you see that?
I've seen David Funk. He's on. Are you seeing that?
No, I'm trying to bring chat back up.
He says, I'm going to send Cindy, Team 10. Well, he's got that wrong. Some banana nut cake for the chick fight. He knows what bananas do to people in tournaments. Now, that you're liable to get Cindy and Nikki all wound up about that. They put a knot on your head. Ajax won't take off.
Hey, you want to know something? Bring it on, Funk. Bring it on. Team 11 is going to kick your funk.
Hey,
Shh, Melinda, don't tell him.
Oh, man.
You know, that's.
Hear me something.
I'll give the Ishcomers some bananas this weekend in Kansas.
You better not. They've had enough trouble.
Jeremy, you stay out of it.
To walking.
They did. They did. Well, guys, we're running on about an hour and 20 minutes. I can't thank you two enough for jumping in here and helping us out tonight. I knew we was going to have a great time, and we did have a great time, and we actually talked about some constructive stuff in the process. But
well, yeah, isn't that the purpose of it? I mean, it's. I think it's important that people take the time now and consider, when you're going to do a tournament, to set it up right, do up those live feeds rights, because that's the name of the game now.
That's exactly right, Sonny. Cliff Miller, I did enjoy that picture you sent me where that bass was being eaten. I love to see that. That's I think they should be allowed to be used as bait, but they're not in our state, so we're just going to have to let that go. But looking forward to everything coming up. Jeremy, you guys have a safe tournament over there at Milford Lake this weekend. Wished you guys the very best. Get your truck fixed so we can see you scrambling around all over the United States having these tournaments.
You'll hear from him Wednesday.
We will be talking to you Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
And looking forward to that. We'll find out how everything's going and get the weather predictions and forecast from Milford from you then for all the guys fishing it. And if you're not signed up, go to their website, get signed up, or you can sign up at the captain's meeting Friday night, correct?
That's right. That is correct.
That's a great place to catch some giant channel cats and some really big blues. So if you're in the Milford Lake area or you want to be in there and you think you're going to make the trip, get signed up so you guys can do it. Steve Johnson, I think that you're going to see Jeremy working really hard to be out towards California with some of his tournaments. And if he does, that you're going to enjoy that very much. Jeremy, thanks again. Glenn, as always, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. You and Dave go at it. Makes our show so enjoyable. Gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why all of a sudden David Funk starts picking on me. But he's got to realize who he's messing with.
That's right, John Spears.
I know people. I know people, David.
Oh, John says, "Great effing show, guys." Thank you, Mike Urban. Where's my schedule for next week? Wait. God, I got some of these give to me. Sean Richardson come up to my house the other day. They're called bait locks. Let me get it where so everybody can see them. These are really cool little invention. These babies, you can open them up. Let me pull one out and show you. I got so wound up with David and you, Glenn, I almost forgot about it. They're very soft, and the new models will only have a single hook on them, but they're really, really soft. And you take the bottoms of them and you spin it out. If I can get it to operate here, it's not it's me. It's not anything else. But it turns. I got to push it. I pushed the wrong end of it. And you can put any kind of bait in this pocket that you want. It has perforated holes on each side. So if you're using channel cats, man, what a great way to get dip bait and stuff like that in these. Really, really sharp hooks. And they just close back up like that. You could put cut bait in them. You could put shad guts in them. Anything you want. And you're not going to lose your bait all the time to them fish hitting it. And Shane told me the other day somebody caught a 20-pound blue on one. So that's amazing product. They come in white and red. And we're going to have them guys on the show here in the next few weeks, and they can tell you all about that. I also want to go over this. Now, these are really hard for me to read, so bear with me because the print is really small. I've tried to blow it up 2 or 3 different ways, and I had a hard time doing it. But the Fishing for Blues tournament was a 2-day tournament, Ellensworth, and the first place winner was Adam Shriver and Terry Alexander with a total weight of let's see. Like I say, this print's really small. I tried to blow it up the best I could. 10 fish for 165 pounds. Pretty good weigh-in down there. Chris Baldwin and Kylie Baldwin had 10 fish for 106 pounds. Evan Davis and Lane Davis, 50.7 pounds. I don't think that's right, but the print's so small I just can't read it. But that Evan Davis and Lane Davis was 3rd place. 4th place was Mike Orr and Pam Orr. 5th place was Ridge McClure and Jarrett and Casey Young. 6th place, Torn Moore and Robert Sander. And 7th place was Malcolm Williams and Theo and Terry Williams. So that's your tournament listing from Ellensworth, 2-day tournament. They had a great time. We also have the results from the Central Texas Catfish Trial, March 16th on Lake Whitney. 24 teams fished it. First place was Greg Lopez, Lewis Biddle. Jonathan Watts was 61.86. That's the first place was Greg. Boys, I'm telling you, let me explain something to you. We want to announce all these tournaments, but you have to send them to us, and you have to put them to where they stand up and down. When I print them out, I can't read them, and if they have to be big enough print or a format that I can enlarge. Jonathan Watts, 61.86 pound, 3rd place. Jerry and John Dillard with 58.83 pounds in 4th place, and Big Fish was 22 pounds at 0.83. Next tournament will be April 13th on Navarro Mills Lake. But yeah, we are happy to announce any upcoming tournaments or any tournament results that you have, but they have to be on a format where I can either spin them to I can make them up and down, and they have to be able, if they're small print like some of them are, I have to be able to enlarge them, because even with glasses, that was pretty tough to read. But
I think a good tip of the week, Steve Douglas fell out of his boat. He was getting out of his boat. His pants were bagging. He didn't pull his pants up, and somehow he fell because of his pants got caught on something, ended up on his hands and his knees on falling 6 foot out of his boat.
So you got to be careful, folks.
I'm not sure that he wanted you to share that.
Well, everybody's talking about it in chat.
Yeah, they're all.
Okay. I didn't know. If my pants fell down and tripped me up and I fell out of the boat, I wouldn't want anybody to see that.
Well, we're glad that Steve's all right. The point of this is you got to be careful. You don't just fall out of the boat and have to worry about having a life jacket on, which you should have, but it can happen at the boat ramp or anyplace else. So
got to be careful.
Got to be careful all the time. We do miss Doc's tip of the week, but
yes,
he'll be back before you know it, and he'll have a great tip. He's probably saving a couple up after all this time off. But keep it.
That's right. I'm not giving any tips. That's it.
Yeah, someone asked for a tip from you, so.
Okay. You want also? I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip that my father used to give me every year. He used to make me take the prop off the outboard every spring before we would go out, because like Cindy was talking about before, we were talking about the planer boards getting caught up. You don't know what you pick up in your prop, in your shaft. And you can get in and pop that prop off and check and make sure that you don't have anything, bound up inside there. So there you go. There's my tip.
Great tip.
Courtesy of my dad.
There you go. That's a great one.
No, it wasn't. It was just okay. So it wasn't like Doc's. But you wanted one, and that's the only one I could pull out of my hat. So take it or leave it.
So who's on next week, Lyle?
We don't have anybody scheduled for next week, and the reason we don't is we're waiting to see how the doctor feels before we do. So I will work on that, find out if he's going to be able to do it. We do not want him to rush in any way, but if not, we'll find somebody to step in here, and we'll have a great time and a great show. In the meantime, thank you guys so much again. The 8th of April, I had a gentleman send me a message. He said, of all the safety things that you talk about, how about you have a show on boat insurance? So I contacted our good buddy, Dave Swearingen. He is a Farm Bureau insurance agent, a great fisherman in his own right, and a super nice guy. And he's going to come on the 8th of April. And we're going to talk about boat insurance, if you have to have it, why you have to have it, what parts of it you have to have, what part of it you need, cost, and a lot of variables. And Dave will have all the answers. If I remember correctly what he told me, that he was going to do that from his office. So get any questions you have about boat insurance ready, and Dave can answer them for you. He's a super nice guy and extremely knowledgeable. And he will take your money in a tournament if he gets the opportunity. That's the way Dave is.
I'll bet, Lyle, that his tips are going to save people a lot of money.
I think they will. Scott Spurlock said boat insurance just paid $11,498 for his motor.
Wow.
That half of it is in the bottom of Wheeler Lake. It pays to have insurance on your boats, folks.
Yeah, well, he won't be checking his prop this year.
Yeah. Safe travels, Jeremy. I'll talk to you Wednesday. Glen, thank you so much. Thanks.
Hey, don't forget to go to the Facebook page, the RIGRAP Facebook page, and sign up for the chick fight. Pick the team to win. Team 11, of course. Yep. But pick your team, win some great RIGRAP stuff. While you're there, make sure you like and follow us. It's facebook.com/RIGRAP. And get some RIGRAPs. And spend your time fishing, not rigging.
Yep.
Okay, I'm done with the pitch.
All right. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and share Catfish Weekly, and go to King Cat's Facebook page and show them some love as well. We appreciate everything they do for our sport. Until Wednesday night, live with Jeremy Coe, we will see you then. Thanks for watching.
Right. Hey, thank you.
Thanks, guys.